Hi children, good afternoon. So we are going to continue chapter 5, diversity in living organisms. Here we have completed previously uh, invertebrates, that is platyhelminthes and nematodes. Both are mostly parasitic life, isn't it? They are present mostly in the living organisms. In human beings, it is large intestine. So they mostly live in the large intestine as a parasites. And those organs, if you see in these two nematodes and platyhelminthes, they are not that much developed. Okay, you can see platyhelminthes, there is no anus in that. But when you come to nematodes, there is anus and mouth. Digestive tract is also not well developed because they are parasites. They eat the food from the host. But if you come to the now in this topic, what we are going to discuss, those phyla are having a little bit developed organs. That means there is a evolution from helminthes group to now annelids, arthropoda, mollusca, and echinodermata. First, we are going to discuss annelids. Annulus. In Greek, annulus means ring-like structures. I think you might have seen earthworm, even leech. The earthworm and leech, those are having a lines on the body. So what is the lines? The lines are nothing but what? Segments. So it seems like a ring-like. That's why the name is given annelida. Okay. Mostly in annelids, they are free living. Only some are parasites. Can you see here? This is leech and this is the earthworm and this is the nereis. So these are the examples of annelids. Now we can see in detail. What are the general characters of the annelida? I told you annelids means what? Tiny rings. So you can see here, these are the segments. What is the importance of these segments? Each segment consists of the same organs. So that it is called as a bilaterally symmetrical. So two halves consist of the same organs. That's why it is a bilaterally symmetrical. And also it is a triploblastic. That means three layers, germinal layers are present. Ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. Okay, these are the three layers are present in these annelids. And they are having two openings. One is mouth and second one is anus. Mouth is for collecting, anus is for excretion. Which is having a segmented body. It is a very important character for the annelids. Mostly they live in soil or even in the fresh water. They are nocturnal. Nocturnal means what? We can see mostly during the night time. For example, you see cockroach. Cockroach always present in where there is a wastage food materials are there, and also during the night time only they will come out. That's why the organisms which can feed during night, which can move during night, they are called as a nocturnal. What's the opposite of nocturnal? Diurnal. Diurnal means the organisms which move during daytime. What we are, human beings, we are diurnal because we are moving mostly during daytime only, and nighttime we are going to sleep, isn't it? So we are the diurnal. Okay, they are feed very dirty matters which are organic matter which is present in the soil. But when they are eating the food materials, they eat even amount of soil also. They can't separate the things. So they will eat the food material with soil. After enter in the digestive tract, what will happen? the food material will be digested, but the soil will come out with excreta. And including that, the digestive enzymes which are present in the digestive tract is also mixed with soil. So that the waste materials which are coming out of the earthworms especially, they are important for what purpose? For growth of the plant. They act as a manure. I think you might have observed that wherever the earthworms are there are some round ball-like structures. You can see soil particles, round, but soil is not a proper round. But these are these pellets, that means waste material, cars, we can call it. So these are round in shape, very small and round in shape. So if you see that one, we can understand there is an earthworm inside the soil. That's why earthworms are friends of farmers. We are calling them as friends of farmers. Why? Because they dip, they are present inside the soil and they are burrowing animals. So they are till the what soil inside, just like a plow. So they till the soil very inside and make the soil aerated. That means the air can enter in between the soil particles, which is important for what? For germination of seeds. That's why these earthworms are not only for giving the aeration of soil, but also what? They release the excreta, which is important for growth of the plant. For what? Like a manure. Okay. And so here respiration next. What's the how does respiration takes place? Respiration takes place in the process of diffusion through what? Moist skin. I think you know that always the earthworm is present in the moist area. If we keep in the dry area, then it will die because there is no respiration takes place. So moist skin is important for respiration as a process of what? Diffusion. Sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction is what we can say, it is having two reproductive organs in same individual. So that it is called as what? Hermaphrodite. Hermaphrodite means having male and female reproductive organs in the same organism. And excretion is also, there is a specific organs are there for the excretion, that is called as a nephridia. There are types of nephridia there. Afterwards you can see this one in the further classes, higher classes. So nephridia is a excretory organs. And next, circulatory system. So circulatory system, we have seen two types, closed and open type. Here, which type of circulatory system is present? Closed type. That means the blood will flow only in the particular blood vessels. Ventral blood vessel and dorsal blood vessel. These are the two blood vessels are present in the earthworm. Okay. So the circulatory system is what? Closed type of circulatory system. And well-developed nervous system. There is a nerve ring is present in the first segment, that is called as a peristomium. Okay, pro means the first one. There is no, it's having a mouth, so it won't come in the segmentation counting. But the first segment is what? Peristomium, where there is a ring-like structure will present, and from the ring there is a nerve cord will go on, pass on throughout the body. And each segment there is a ganglion. From the ganglion there is a pair of nerves will arise. So this is the structure of what? Nervous system in annelids, which we can see a developed one in first time in annelids. Okay. And another important feature is here what? There are setae. Setae are locomotory organs, which are present in each segment a pair, and they are having chitinous. That means what? Hard. There is a chitinous protein which is make this CETP. And one more thing I told you, the hard materials are present out of the body in the invertebrates, not inside the body. That's why this is called as a exoskeletal body. And here there is no proper exoskeleton in annelids. Only what the setae are hard, and how the body is having its structure without skeleton by means of water. Most water is present in the annelids, so it is called as a hydroskeletal body. It is very important point. Okay, annelids are what having hydroskeletal body. Normally, invertebrates are having exoskeleton body. Vertebrates are having endoskeleton body. Okay, so these are the main important features of what annelids. Habitat. If you say habitat, already I told you they are present always in moist soil, freshwater organisms. Only some are parasites, especially leech. If you take, this leech will suck the blood of animals, isn't it? Where above the body itself. That's why it is called as a ectoparasite. It does endo. Endo means internal. Helminthes are internal parasites. That's why they are endoparasites. These are what? Ectoparasites. So, and one more thing is proper coelom is present. Proper body cavity is present in this annelids. If you see the structure of earthworm, you can see position of mouth, the first one, it is prostomium. And then you can count the segments from here. Okay, from here there are the segments. This is one pink color patch-like structure. If you observe the this earthworm, you can understand. Try to collect the earthworm and observe physically. Okay, clitellum is a part where the 17th or 14th to 17th segment, all the segments covered by a thick pink color layer-like structure. We can't see the segments here. So that is called as a clitellum. It is nothing but what we call as a egg sac. So after the fertilization, the eggs will move from downwards. That means where there is a reproductive organs are present. Here in these segments, the reproductive organs are present. So from there, the fertilization takes place, and these eggs will move towards the clitellum. And here in the clitellum, the clitellum will come out as a sac, as a bag from the body. So it releases from this side, from the that means anterior side. And afterwards, again, the secretions will take place. It forms as a new clitellum. Okay, and this is the position of anus. And the whole segments, mostly more than 100 to 600 segments are present in each earthworm. And leech is more than earthworm. Okay, and come to the arthropoda. Arthro means jointed, poda means legs. So it is what? Jointed legs. So the body itself consists of a jointed legs. And they are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, like annelids. And they are present land, water, and soil everywhere, where the habitat is all the three places. The body is totally divided into what? Three regions. Mostly cockroach is example for arthropoda. So this cockroach consists of three body parts. One is head, the second one is thorax, third one is abdomen. Okay, I think you might have seen cockroach. Try to catch cockroach and then check the body parts so that you can understand, you can observe the proper body parts. Okay, and external exoskeleton. So skeleton is a external, that means what? Outside. And it's having a metamerism, means division. Jointed appendages, I already told you. True coelom, just like annelids. Open circulatory system. It is not like annelids. It is having an open circulatory system. Means the blood won't flow in the blood vessels. It will flow in way in the coelom cavity itself. I think you might have seen the blood of a cockroach. It's a white in color. Why it is a white in color? There is no hemoglobin in this. Why hemoglobin is not present in this means because the respiration takes place by means of a special organ, the special system that is called as a tracheal system. So because of the tracheal system present in the arthropoda, then there is no activity of hemoglobin. Hemoglobin activity is what? To supply oxygen to body parts, isn't it? So here there is no need of supplying of oxygen by means of hemoglobin because of having tracheal system. Okay, and advanced type of nervous system, whatever we have seen in the annelids, the same type of nervous system is present in arthropoda also, and very well developed muscular system. So already I told you respiration by trachea, including that some other organisms in arthropoda having book lungs and body surface or by means of gills. Here sexes are separate, unlike annelids. Okay, and phylum Arthropoda divides into four subclasses. Why? Because it is a very big phylum, having many more individuals in that. That's why they divided into four groups according to the number of what legs. And here that is one is insecta, which is a very big group again when compared to other three groups. Example, all the insects. Then crustaceans, crustacea, example prawns, crabs, and all this will come in the crustacea because they are having 8 legs. Insect are having 3 pairs of the legs. The next arachnida having 4 pairs of legs. Example, spider and even scorpion. Arachy means poison. I think you know already that is this scorpion and spider. They are having some poison in the poison glands. They are having Myriapoda, many legs. Example, Julius and even Scolopendra. So these are having more than 100 legs. So these are the example, the groups which we can see in arthropoda. Okay. The next come to the mollusca. Mollusca means soft bodied. Example, you know, this Unio, Pila globosa, that is what? Snail. Okay. These are the examples of this phylum mollusca. They are also having a large phylum after arthropoda. And there is a shell which is soft body covered by means of a shell prepared by means of what? Calcium carbonate. There is a inside, there is a cavity which is called as a what? Mantle. There is a mantle cavity. So this mantle cavity is secreted by means of what? A secretion which is present inside the there are some glands are there. So those glands secrete this mantle so that the body become always soft and moist. There is no segmentation here, unsegmented, but symmetry is bilateral symmetry. There is a muscular foot is also present. Only single foot is present. Okay, locomotion, for locomotion. And for respiration, gills, complete formation of digestive tract. Circulatory system is again what? Open type, just like arthropoda. Here also separate sexes, male and female, just like in arthropoda, male arthropoda and female arthropoda. Okay, afterwards we can see how to, that means know which one is male and which one is female. And cephalization, cephalo means what? Head part. So it is having a big head part. And mostly they are attached. I think you might have seen some snails and some are attached to the what big rocks and all. Okay, that is called as a benthic nature, and having antennae. And can you see the eyes? Eyes are not attached to the body. It is attached to the stalk-like structures. This is an important character which we can see in the snakes. Here, these are the eyes which are having the stalks on the end edges of the stalk. The eyes are present. Okay, so example, you can see even octopus also, which is not having shell. Mostly others are all having shells, and these are not having shell. Okay, and next we can see the echinodermata. Echine means spiny. So the whole body consists of spines. That's why it is called as a echinodermata. And these are exclusively marine animals. That means they are present mostly in seawater only. And radially symmetrical. Previously we have seen bilateral symmetrical, but here we can see the radial symmetry because of having 5 arms. Okay, triploblastic and coelomate. And one more thing is important here, they are having water vascular system. And can you see here, this is a ring, and this ring connected to the tubes, and so that the water can enter and then pass on into all the 5 arms. And this is called as a madreporoid. Madreporoid means it's like a mouth. Okay, so water can enter into this and then supply to all body part arms, and then it helpful for the digestion, excretion, and all the activities which will take place by means of water vascular system only. And here we can say the spiny things which are called as a tube feet. So these tube feet are connected to the water vascular system. Okay, respiration by means of tube feet or skin gills process is diffusion. The same process of the excretion is also diffusion having tube feet. Okay, so examples are Holiothuria, Astrias, Antidon, Echinus, and Ophioderma. So these are the important characters which we can see for the echinodermis. Circulation is a closer type because these are having the tubes. Important thing is what? Having water vascular system. That is the important characteristic which we can see in echinodermis. It is the last phylum in invertebrata. With that, the invertebrata had completed. Next, we are going to see the vertebrates. Okay, take care. Read all the characters and general characters, and also you have to write the differences among these all 4 groups of 4 phyla. Okay, that is the homework file. I didn't give here, but you have to write the differences among these all the 4 phyla. Okay, take care. Bye.